Greetings, my name is Kerry and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my final book haul relating to 2019. I usually do these seasonally, so this is technically my autumn book haul, which I would have filmed at the beginning of December, only I wasn't filming in December, so so it's going to be any books that I bought or received between September and the end of December, so it's going to include books I got for my birthday through to books I got for Christmas, and then I'll go back to doing them more seasonally for my next haul, which will be probably around March time, which will be my winter book haul. But yeah, I just thought I might as well tie it up in a bow and finish it off with the end of December. So I'm breaking them down into some sections, and I'm going to start with the slightly random books that didn't fit neatly into any of the other categories. Although I did have good reasons for buying all of them, they don't fit in the other categories. So yeah, so anyway, so the first one of these is Brightly Burning by Alexa Donne. I've talked about this already on my channel. I bought this for the second round of Voltathon, which took place in November, I think, and I really enjoyed this book. I have already read this one. It's a Jane Eyre retelling set in space, and it was really cleverly written. I really enjoyed it. The next three I haven't read. So next we have one that I've been meaning to get for a long time, and I needed to treat myself. So I bought State of Sorrow by Melinda Salisbury. I bought this in a post-general election, need a bit of a pick-up moment of weakness. As I mentioned, I've been meaning to read this for a while. I follow Melinda Salisbury on Twitter, and the day after the general election she was tweeting about, like, there were a lot of people that were really upset with the general election result, myself included, but she had decided she was going to do something about it and start sort of taking some action politically. And I'm all for that, so I thought, I've been meaning to buy her book for a while. I want to support this author and I need a little bit of a pick-me-up, so I ordered that one. Another book that I've been meaning to buy for a really long time, and I saw it in a charity book sale, is Kindred by Octavia Butler. I don't know a lot about this other than that it's science fiction-y, but it's like historical science fiction. So it's about a young woman who is transported back in time to the time of slavery and about all that happens to her. Octavia Butler is meant to be a really important figure in feminist fiction, and I've been wanting to read this for a really long time. I can't remember, I think it was Frankie Rees I heard talking about it on BookTube ages ago, and I've been meaning to pick it up ever since then, and yeah, found it in a charity book sale, so I got that one. And then this one is called Phoebe by Paula Gooder. So this is a novelisation about a character from the New Testament. Paula Gooder is a theological scholar. I bought this one because my church started a book club and this was the first book, and I never actually went to the book club and I haven't actually read it yet. But that was why I bought it, because I was going to start going to this book club, and then I got invited to a different theology book club, so I thought I can't do two theology book clubs, so I'm focusing on the other one instead. But I still have bought this book and I still want to read it, I just haven't done so as yet. So on that note, the next little section are non-fiction books, and the first one I'm going to talk about is one that I bought for the new theology book club that I'm going to. We've already had the meeting about this book and I hadn't quite finished it. I've still got one chapter to go, but it was enough that we could talk about the themes of it. This is called Steel Angels by Magdalen Smith. It's subtitled The Personal Qualities of a Priest, and it is about that. It's based on the selection criteria of what the Church of England are looking for in people wanting to become priests, but actually there's a lot in there that is relevant to regular, ordinary, everyday Christians as well, and I found it really encouraging. Another book, non-fiction book that I've actually already read, these are all Christian non-fiction as well actually, this is Planetwise by Dave Bookless. So I finished this, I can't remember if I finished it in November or December, but I talked about it in that wrap-up. This is a Christian view on ecology and taking care of the planet based on what it says in the Bible, and I found this really helpful. And then the third one I haven't read yet, this was recommended to me by a friend. It's called The Best Yes, Making Wise Decisions in the Midst of Endless Demands. This is something that I find really difficult, and that's why my friend recommended it to me. She'd been reading it and thought I would find it helpful as well. I haven't got around to it yet. It's high on my list though, it's really high on my list. It's about how to discern between different demands on your time, what should you be saying yes to and what shouldn't you. Okay, the next little stack are ones I have got from book subscription services. The first one of these I've already read. This was the last book I received from the Ninja Book Club subscription before it ended. This is The Wind That Lays Waste by Selva Almeda. This was our book club pick for October and I really enjoyed it. I read it at the beginning of November and really enjoyed it. Again, I've talked about this in one of my wrap-ups, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's really cleverly written. It's about 4 people that end up sheltering from a storm together, 2 families, and their interactions. It's really, really clever. Next, we have the most recent book I've received from my Perrine Press subscription. This is called Snow Dog Foot by Claudio Morandini. This is translated from Italian. I don't know very much about it, but I love every book that Perrine has sent me so far, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then the next one I have is my most recent book from my And Other Stories subscription, which is another indie publisher. This is called Theft by Luke Brown. This is, I think, about a family that have been estranged and are brought back together, but again, I'm not entirely sure. I've heard really good things about this and I'm really looking forward to getting to that one. And then we have the most recent book from Ninja Book Box. So this was our winter book from Ninja Book Box. This is Grace's Table by Sally Piper. This is definitely about family. It's about a lady bringing her family back together to have a meal together. I usually do unboxings, but because the box came in December when I wasn't filming, I didn't, but all the gifts were linked to this theme of feasting and winter, and it was really, yeah, some really lovely things in that box. Right, my next little stack are all books that I bought to carry on with series. Mostly series that I've started, but the first little stack are ones that from series I haven't actually started yet. So we have Hollow City and Library of Souls, which are books 2 and 3 in the Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children series by Ransom Riggs. Ordinarily I don't buy books in series where I haven't started the series yet. At the moment that's my policy, but I saw both of these in a charity shop for £1 each, working on the theory that people that I respect and have similar taste to me enjoy this series. I thought I probably would, and when you see stuff in charity shops you have to buy it when you see it because it won't be there again the next time you go. Thought at £1 each I would take the risk on those, so hopefully I'll enjoy them. I'm going to try and start that series this year so that I can find out for sure. And then similar, well, this is actually a series I did start a long time ago. I read the first book when I was a child and I've been planning to read the whole series since, so I saw these again at a charity book sale. So these are books 3 to 6 of the Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. So we've got Anne of Windy Willows, Anne of the Island, Anne's House of Dreams, and Anne of Ingleside. So I read Anne of Green Gables when I was younger, and I have Anne of Avonlea, which is the second one, which I got myself for Christmas last year, but I haven't read it yet. So now I have the next 4 books in that series as well. So I have the first 6 now, and again I'm going to try and get into this series this year to justify buying them all. But again, it was a charity sale. When you see them, you buy them in a charity sale, because otherwise you're not going to see them again. So next we have some series that I have actually started, and all series that I want to carry on with and try and get deeper into this year. So we've got The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. This is the second book in the Bone Season series. Samantha Shannon was one of my favourite new authors I discovered last year. Bone Season was a book I really, really enjoyed. I started reading it for Bonathon, hosted by Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction. The Bone Season was the only one I actually managed to read during Bonathon, but never mind. I just find it really difficult to read series like close together. I have to leave a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to try and get to this one soon. And then we have Poirot Investigates, which is a collection of short stories. It's the 3rd in the Poirot series by Agatha Christie. I worked my way through the Marple series earlier in the year, and so I've now started on Poirot. There are a lot more books in the Poirot series, so it's going to take me a really long time to get through them, but this was the next one that I didn't have. That's that one. And then we have Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is the second in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in the Realm of the Elderling series. I read Assassin's Apprentice, finished it in December, and I bought this one actually fairly soon after I started Assassin's Apprentice because I'd enjoyed it so much. This one is a lot fatter, and I think each book gets a bit bigger, so I'm really keen to carry on with the series so and get really stuck into this world. And the next one is The Jinni Key by Bethany Atazadeh. This is the second in her Stolen Kingdom series, which is a series of fairy tale retellings. Each one picks up on a different fairy tale. So the first one was an Aladdin retelling, this one is a Little Mermaid retelling, but all the stories are interlinked as well. So we've already met some of the characters that feature in this book, but it focuses on a different character. I really enjoyed the first one. The third one I think is out later this year, and it's definitely a series I'm going to carry on with. Bethany Atazadeh is a author tuber and she has a really great channel, so I will link that for you in the description box. But yeah, this is another series that I'm definitely wanting to make progress with. And then another of my new favourite authors, I have 2 books from her again to carry on series. So we've got Bloodwitch and Sightwitch by Susan Dennard. So this is books 2.5 and 3 in the Witchlands series. This one is a prequel, I believe, but you're meant to read it between books 2 and 3. Been meaning to carry on with the series ever since I read Truthwitch. If you have seen my favourite books of the year, you'll know that Truthwitch featured in that. I read that in September, and yeah, she's fast become one of my favourite authors, so I'm really keen to carry on with this series. I borrowed Truthwitch and Windwitch from the library in the UK paperback editions, which I really love, and so when I actually buy myself copies, I'm going to buy those ones. I bought this one because I'm impatient, but I probably will actually buy the UK paperback edition of that when it comes out as well. But I have a feeling this might be a series where I let myself have multiple editions, because I'm going to want to read the books as they come out because I love them that much, but I also want to have the matching set of the UK paperbacks, so I will probably end up buying another copy of Bloodwitch in that UK paperback edition when it comes out, which is something I don't do very often, but for books that I really love, it's nice to have really nice editions that match. Yeah, so then I have I have a couple of books that I let myself buy on the last day of December because I'm not meant to be buying books at the moment. That was one of my goals of 2020, was to only buy books under specific circumstances. I may have lapsed already, but still the intention is that I'm not going to generally buy books unless they're from series that I need to carry on with, or for book club. So I was feeling really down on the 31st of December. I've been going through quite a lot and I just needed a bit of a boost, so I let myself buy some books on the last day that I was allowed to buy books in December, and I think I actually did pretty well. Most of these were second hand. The first one actually I'm going to talk about also carries on a series, but it's a series I haven't started yet. So this was the only one I bought new, which was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles, so I have Cinder but I haven't read it yet. There's a chain of discount bookshops in the UK called The Works, and I found this in there for £2. It's a series I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy, so I thought I might as well get the second one while I saw it cheap, because it's like charity shops with The Works, you never know if you're going to find the same book in there again another time, so I treated myself to that one. The rest of these I did get from charity shops. Another one that is from a series that I've been trying to collect more of, you'll see some of them here. My brother had a lot of the Terry Pratchett books, but he actually didn't have the second one, and I found it in a charity shop, so I got that. That's The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett. If you saw my unhaul video, you'll have seen me talk about how I've been decluttering. I actually found Marie Kondo's book Spark Joy in a charity shop as well. I'm about halfway through reading that. I'm finding it really helpful actually. I am in a process of decluttering and I need to do some more. This book is actually going to be really helpful for me for that. And then I also bought, I don't know how soon I'll get around to reading this, but it's been on my books to find list for a while, and I saw it again in the charity shop. So this is A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft, who is the mother of Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. And this is quite a pivotal feminist text from the early days of feminism. I don't know how soon I'll read it, but it's been one I've been meaning to pick up for a very long time, so I thought I'd give it a go. And the last book I bought in that session was one that I'd actually already read, so I felt completely justified in buying it, and it was a hardback that was reduced to, I think it was 50p or £1, I can't remember. This is one of my favourite books of 2018. This is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. So this was a book I really enjoyed when I read it and had been meaning to get my own copy, so to find it in a charity shop in a hardback, I was quite pleased with that. So then one more book that I'm going to talk about that I bought is another one. It's one that I've already read from a series that I've been wanting to reread for a while, and I'd been planning on trying to get them from the library, but the library doesn't actually have them anymore. When I was a kid I borrowed them all from the library, so I'm going to start myself a little collection of Tamora Pierce books. This is Alana the First Adventure by Tamora Pierce, which were a series of books I found really encouraging as a teenager about a female knight, and they carry on into the world. Like, there's a whole series set in the same world that starts with this series about the lioness Alana. Yeah, there's a couple of other series as well, and I read a lot of them when I was a kid, and now I want to try and reread the whole lot of them. Probably will end up buying more of these. Now on to a little collection of books that I've been given. Some of these I was given for my birthday, some I won in giveaways, and some I was given for Christmas. The first two are ones that my parents gave me because I read them and thought I would enjoy them. So we have The Burning Chambers by Kate Moss. My dad gave me this one. I do quite like Kate Moss as an author. I've read a few of her books. I've got a few more that I haven't read yet. He said this was really good, but he wouldn't reread it, but he thought I would like it. And then my mum gave me this one, The Cotton Town Girls by Leah Fleming. She gave me this one because it's a novel about the suffragette movement, which is a period of history I'm really interested in. It's a family saga type book, which I don't always enjoy, but I'm going to give this one a try because of its subject matter and see what I think of it. Next I have a couple of books that I was given for my birthday, and the first one I was given by my parents, and it's one I've been really keen to read. I haven't got to it yet, but this is Enchanté by Guita Trellis. This is a fantasy novel set at the time of the French Revolution, so it's sort of historical fantasy. It's got a really beautiful cover. I really love this cover. I'm really keen to see how she's interpreted that world, that period of history, and added magic to it. So this was one that I'd really wanted to read anyway, and my parents got it for me for my birthday, so it is high on my list to get to. And then this one my aunt gave me. She has given me a number of similar books over the years, which I've not always found helpful. This one sounds like it might be a bit better than the others. This is He's Not What I Ordered by Maudupe Charlotte Alatis, I think is how you say that, sorry if I've got that wrong. So this is subtitled Understanding God's Choice in Marriage. It's kind of meant to be a sort of, I was going to say self-help, not self-help, but you know, along that kind of lines, book about Christian dating. So then we have 3 books that I received from giveaways. The first one, I already mentioned that I had this. This is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. I actually won this in a giveaway from Samantha Shannon, which was quite nice. So this is the 3rd book in the Bone Season series, and yeah, really keen to carry on with the series, so I was really grateful to have received that to help me try and get through that series a bit quicker. I received this next book from the Big Green Bookshops by a Stranger of Book Day. They did an impromptu one again as a post-election thing to help try and cheer people up, so I received a copy of Hope in the Dark by Rebecca Solnit, which is non-fiction. It's an essay about resistance groups, I guess. Yeah, activists, sort of history of activism and people standing up for what they believe is right and how that can have power to change political situations. So this is quite high on my list to read as well. And then the final book I received was on a Ninja Book Box giveaway on their Facebook group. This is Mini Crochet Creatures. I'd actually had a copy of this out from the library, and the giveaway was to win a book that's high on your wish list, so as soon as I borrowed this from the library I knew I wanted my own copy. It's just makes really tiny creatures out of crochet, and I'll put some pictures up of some of the ones I've made so far from this book because they're really cute and they're really quick to make, and it just really cheered me up when I had the book from the library in December, so really pleased to have my own copy of it now. Finally, I've just got a few books that I was given for Christmas. Most of them from my family, a couple of them weren't, so we're going to do the ones that weren't from my family first. My family always complain about me having too many books, and then they gave me loads of books for Christmas, so what can you do? The first one of these was Round About £1 a Week by Maud Pembers Reeves. Try and hold that a bit closer, you can see the title. This I received from the Persephone Book Swap Christmas book exchange that was hosted by Ninja Book Box. I don't know too much about it, but I'm really keen to read it. It's actually on my TBR for February, so I'm going to try to get to that one soon. And then one of my friends got me this book, The Familiars by Stacey Halls. It was about the witch trials in the 17th century. I've heard really good things about this book. Again, it's got a really beautiful cover, look at that. So pretty. I don't know much about it other than that, but it's one that I've heard really good things about, so I want to try and get to that one soon as well. I want to try and get to all of these soon, and as you know, it's not going to happen. Like, we'll see. Well, anyway, and then I've got a few books that my family gave me. So the first one is Richard Osman's House of Games. These are quiz questions based on his TV show, Richard Osman's House of Games, which is one of our favourite shows to watch as a family, and we always get a little bit competitive when we watch it. We actually went through quite a lot of these questions on Christmas Day, and I really annoyed everyone because I wouldn't let anyone else be the quizmaster. I insisted on being it myself. It's a really brilliant show. If you live in the UK and you haven't seen it yet, go check it out on BBC iPlayer. It's really, really funny. Another book that was given to me by my parents is called Salvage by Martin Rodereda, I think you pronounce that. This book I actually put on my wish list because I'm not sure if it was the author or the publisher contacted me asking if I'd like an ebook version to review, and I'm not actually accepting books for review at the moment, and I don't generally read ebooks, so I let them know that. But actually when I looked at the synopsis I thought it sounded like a really interesting story, so I put it on my Amazon wish list. I didn't think I'd get given it by my parents so soon, so I'm quite keen to read it. It's a dystopian novel. I don't know that much about it, but I just thought the synopsis sounded really interesting, so yeah, so that's that one. So that had been on my wish list a really short time. The next one had been on my wish list a really long time. This is Hearts and Minds by Jane Robinson. So this is non-fiction about the suffragette movement in the run-up to the First World War. I heard about it on Twitter, I think, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, so really pleased to have that now. And then finally, has been quite a lot of books. I don't actually know how many, and I can't be bothered to count them today. So the last book that I received for Christmas, I've actually started reading this one. This is called Seven Deadly Sins of Women in Leadership by Kate Coleman. My brother gave me this one. This had been on my wishlist for a couple of months because I'd again heard people talking about it on Twitter, and I'm finding it really, really helpful. It's been helping me to identify some of the stuff in my life that maybe I have been limiting myself, whether in terms of my self-perception or confidence or that sort of thing. And that's sort of the purpose of the book, to help women who want to be in leadership roles to recognise ways that they are maybe doing themselves down or not helping themselves to be the best leader they can be. So I've read a couple of chapters so far and it's really been speaking to me. I've really been finding it helpful. That is all the books I received between the beginning of September and the end of December. I think it's about 30, 35, maybe 40 books, which it's quite a lot, but I've read a lot of them already and I did get rid of a lot of books at the end of December, so I don't feel too badly. This has been quite a long video, so it's going to take me a little while to edit it down. So let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought of them. Any that you think I should be getting to more quickly. Please like this video if you liked it, please subscribe if you haven't already, and you can also follow me on my social media. All that information is always listed in the description box below. But for now, that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!